Hello and welcome to Succeed. Succeed is a leadership platform where we want to bring leadership education to 1 billion people. My name is Jens Heidland. I'm the founder of Succeed, and this is our Q&A. Every Saturday, let's directly start with the first question. How to support an existing team to get closer together? Number one thing is having a clear vision and a clear direction, which means building a direction that they are contributing to build, not just putting that on top of them, enable them and use the opportunity to build a direction together with the team. Yes, maybe you as the leader or the organization has a direction, but you can bring them together and say, hey, let's build this. Let's look into how do we get there. So it's direction, vision, and as well a roadmap to the future. If you do this together, that's already bringing the team closer together. Of course, the biggest opportunity is building success. A team that is successful together, like a football team that's winning, is getting closer together. You're celebrating afterwards. So look into possibilities how you can generate success with that team. Very, very easy to organize and then celebrate that success that gets people closer together. Another thing is spend more time with each other. Very simple. And I would propose doing this outside of work. I have had a lot of success in the past with different teams where team members got closer together outside of work environment and just through that got closer together. So very simple opportunity, which I highly recommend to do for everyone who is having an existing team, because sometimes the team members don't know too much about themselves. And I've experienced that even with teams and people that have worked 5 years together, they don't know too much about their personal details. So bring them together and figure out how you can engage them with each other. And there are a lot of gamification versions of that. I will not go too much into the details. You can use your curiosity and find out. And what helps, you can ask them, hey, what are the things you would love to do outside of work? Shall we do a specific thing? Ask them, and they will come back and give you the ideas. Nothing better than involving the team in a lot of things. Another part is get things out of the way. If it's an existing team and they're already working together, there might be a couple of tensions inside of the team. So you as the leader need to step in and look into, okay, let's put things onto the table. Let's figure out what's the tension. And then going into one-on-ones and or as a total team, really be clear and put rules into place that allow the team to be open, that allow the team to collaborate. I think these are the easiest couple of steps to get a team closer together that's already existing. Next question, what do we have? One team member is impacting the team negatively. How to deal with that? That's happening quite often, that you have an existing team and one of the team members is either not performing or is slightly negative and is through that impacting the team. For me, the most important thing as a leader is step in and understand what's going on with that team member, not in front of everyone. Have a one-on-one, talk to that team member and try to find out what's going on. Most of the time that wasn't the case from the beginning, and then there's a reason for that. Try to figure out what the reason is, clarify that, have a deep talk with that person. I think it's just sometimes enough to listen and you will hear what the problems of that person are. So take the time, do that as a leader, clarify this. And if there is a specific reason that person is willing to share with the rest of the team, then bring the team back in. Have a conversation with the whole team, be the mediator and the connector of that team with each other. And in case there are a couple of things where you would say there's a situation where the person is not really willing to change, then be very clear that this is not acceptable. Because if you allow this to happen as the leader of a team, that one person is affecting the team negatively over a longer period of time, the whole team will go down. So you as a leader need to step up and say, hey, we have a challenge here. If this challenge is existing, we need to find a solution to that. And sometimes it's as easy as speaking these things out. Let's have a look. How can we solve this? How do we work together? What are the different things we need to change as a team, as working with each other? what are the things this person needs to change. Bring this person in and let this person be part of the solution and let this person develop the solution, because then it's more likely that this person will do the solutions as well. So I think that's are a couple of inputs to that. Another question, how do you manage team performance? For me, it's important to set a team goal, set a direction for the team, and then put metrics in place. Put KPIs on how do you measure this specific goal. It's very clear for everyone, understanding what the KPI is and what the goal is and what the time frame is to reach this goal. And then measure the performance of the individual team members and the total team. Very simple set, sometimes not often done because people are scared to measure individual performance. But I think it's very, very important, specific in a virtual environment where you're not sitting next to each other and don't have too much connections on a day-to-day basis. You need to measure things. You need to make that clear and transparent. Make the outcomes on a daily basis, if possible, if not even more on an hourly basis, but better on a daily basis, transparent, so that everyone can see where they are in the performance metrics of that team. And I know that's sometimes a little scary, especially when you work in larger organizations, because there are a lot of unions involved, there are a lot of workers' councils. And for me, it's not about that you need to drive this team to the extent to perform on the upper limit of everything. It's just being sure that you keep the balance of the team with the performance where you're heading. And again, that goes back to the goal setting, how ambitious you set that goal and how deeply you measure things. For me, it's not a negative thing and not a scary thing. It's just an open, transparent way of looking at things, and then keep an eye on that. That's maybe important. There are always overachievers and people who are driving performance in team. Not that's bad, that's very good, and you want to have that, but there are as well people who are not always the highest performers. So look at the team dynamics and see that they are not forcing each other in a negative way, that there are no tensions in the team. That's your job as the leader of that team. Very important. So that's, I think, key parts of managing team performance. Another question I have, how to select the right team members for a new team. I think it really depends what is your goal, what is the team you want to build. Do you have specific roles in that team? Do you need a specific type? Do you need innovators? Do you need performance drivers? Do you need organizers, or do you need gatekeepers that are keeping things together and more operating things? That's a key part. Understanding when you put a team together, what is the goal, what is the vision, short term and long term, because that's important to understand where you want to be with that team, and then putting the team together that allows you to make this happen, but as well that's not falling apart if you have achieved the first couple of goals. So that's step number one. Understanding that will help you to find the right team members. And then, of course, like I said in one of the other Q&As, the diversity is super important. Diversity of thoughts with a team that helps you to achieve things, and then find the right candidates. I am always a big fan of starting internal. Look internally how you can find team members that understand the culture of the organization, that have been working in different parts, and then put team members together that might never have worked together into one team, so that they are bringing different capabilities, but as well different backgrounds from the organization into one team that helps you drive performance even better and help to achieve the goals. Obviously, depending on what the goal with that is. Yes, I got a question. That's a good one. You mentioned clear engagement rules for a team. Can you give an example? I think I mentioned a little bit of that. Be very, very open and transparent. Enable the team to develop these engagement rules. I always do this because it's very, very easy to put things on the table, and then it's the baby of the team and they have put the rules for themselves rather than me as a leader putting them on the team. Discuss things openly. I think that's one of the rules that's crucial, and it's not often done in teams and organizations. Build a meeting that's just focused on that. It doesn't need to be every week, every month, but build different, maybe even in an external environment where it's not normal work environment, where you can put things on the table, but as well enable this between the different team members on a regular basis. it feels like there's a little bit tension between you and you. Let's figure this out. Do you need me to help you, or are you willing to do this on your own? So just having as a leader these small specific things will help you to do that. Then teach the team as well on how to give feedback. Often underrated because everyone knows, yeah, of course I know how to do feedback, and happy to do a deeper version on how to give feedback in one of the future videos. But I think it's important to understand how you give feedback, because if you have a clear understanding as a total team, this is the feedback culture we want to have, and this is the way we give feedback. Then if you don't give it in the right way, people can flag that straight away. Hey, we have said we're not going to do this in this way, so let's go back to the agreement which we had. And I think that's where you can use the rules inside of the team for the team, so they're basically keeping themselves in check. If you have questions, reach out to us. I'm happy to answer them or bring someone else in who is better in that specific topic. We do from now on every Saturday, same time, a Q&A. If you have questions, we can bring that next week in. If you have a couple of deeper questions, you're welcome to reach out to us. Go to wearesucceed.com. There's a contact form where you can reach out to us. You can reach out to me wherever you see me on social media. Happy to answer you directly as well, or jump on a call. And obviously, we have the library of all Q&As we ever did inside of our blog at wearesucceed.com. That's it for today. I wish you a fantastic Saturday and a great weekend. See you next week, and thank you very much for joining.